Hey there, Capricorn, and welcome to your November 2017 love reading with Divine Love Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are a first-time viewer, I hope you enjoy this video. If you're a returning viewer or if you're a subscriber, thank you. Thank you very much. As you can see, there's already cards laid out here on the table because I was almost, I would say about 75%, 80% through your video, and it just cut off. Okay, my program completely shut down, so it didn't even save the video, so I could just continue. So you'll see some of these cards turned over here because that's where I had already pulled clarifiers for the cards. And I wasn't gonna start over, right? There's no point. I'll just explain to you guys what happened, and I'll start the reading, and that's just that, okay? But here we are in December, so happy birthday to my December Capricorns. And let's go ahead and get into the reading, and anything else that I might have forgotten, I'll try to get in there at the end, okay? So your 10-card spread is already laid out, okay? And the first card represents your current energy, and that is the 5 of Wands, okay? Next card represents your challenge for this month, and that is the Queen of Wands. Okay, the 5 of Wands is actually in the reverse. Queen of Wands is the upright. Your energy coming from the past is the 9 of Cups. All right, your energy going into the future is the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, what you want, okay, for this reading is the Ace of Pentacles. And what is your internal factor is the 6 of Wands in reverse. All right, the first reading I was having a difficult time talking, and nothing seems to have changed in that department. I even started off the video saying that it was December 2013. So if you could tell me what that is about, I would love to know why I thought it was 2013. All right, but moving on to your advice card for this reading, the King of Wands. All right, your external factor is the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Your hopes or your fears is the Ace of Cups in the reverse. And then your outcome for this reading is the Lovers in the reverse. All right, so starting with your current energy with the 5 of Wands in reverse, that can represent that there's a fading to, any disagreements that you've been having. Okay, that represents the fading of disagreements. It can also represent, clearing the air. It can represent that there's no more competition. Okay, so if there was competition before, either on your end or, the person that you're thinking of, your lover, your love interest, spouse, or whatever may be, that's ended. And for others, this represents your lover is reluctant to move forward, okay, from whatever conflict. Now, this can also indicate that you have learned from the conflict, like you have learned something about yourself, or maybe you learned something about your partner, okay? So, but if you're single, all right, this can just represent that either you're no longer competing for someone's affections, okay, or you no longer have multiple people competing for yours. All right, now your challenge or what's crossing this clearing of the air or this moving on from difficulties or competition, you have the Queen of Wands, okay? So the Queen of Wands can represent a person, okay? It could be a fire sign, could be, depending on, which suit you follow, could be an Aries or a Pisces, or like I said, any fire signs. Some people say it's Leo because she's got the sunflowers, but whoever this person represents, they're very cheerful, okay? They're very optimistic, outgoing, they're very passionate and sexy and bold, okay? So that could indicate your partner's energy, or that could indicate your energy, right? Or what it could actually mean, because it's a challenge, it's your challenge to get back to this, okay, Capricorn? It's your challenge to be a little bit more spontaneous and be a little bit more outgoing and cheerful and passionate, okay? Maybe all of this conflict has left you just feeling less than your best, okay? So your challenge for this month is to get to a point where you're feeling more happy and cheerful. All right, clarify that, and we get the Fool card in the reverse. All right, so for if we're going to continue with that line, with that storyline, then yeah, your challenge is to be more cheerful and optimistic without being too naive in the situation, without going too far. All right, because the Fool can indicate someone who is a little bit reckless, a little bit impulsive, all right, a little bit naive. But also, when you have the Queen of Wands here and the Fool in reverse as your challenge, okay, that it could be saying that you don't want to get carried away with thinking that things are going to be all right. So it's like you basically, yes, you need to be more cheerful and you need to be more optimistic, but don't get carried away in thinking that this conflict is completely over. Okay. Don't go overboard in thinking that things are okay, because your lover may not be ready to move forward from the situation. Now, for others, it looks like you have the end of competition could be the fact that you have two people, and that's your challenge, is that you need to decide between two people. And here you have this Queen of Wands, and here you have this Fool in reverse that could be an Aquarius. All right, so for some of my Capricorns, you have to decide between someone who represents the Queen of Wands for you, right? So whatever those signs that I listed before, whether it's a fire sign, an Aries or a Pisces. And for others, it may be an Aquarius, but maybe an Aquarius that isn't necessarily good for you. All right, moving on to your past energy, and we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, so that can represent a time where you were feeling emotional contentment. All right, you were kind of smug with your situation. You feel like you had, things were going your way. This can represent maybe a time where you were overindulging. Okay, so maybe, if you had two situations going on at one point, you're kind of feeling pretty pleased with yourself. You're like, yeah, I've got this going on. All right. For others, it was just a time where you were happy and content in your relationship, a time before these conflicts, had you feeling some type of way. All right. Now, and this reading is probably going to go a little bit faster than normal just because I'd already started it and I know kind of what direction is going in. But let's go ahead and go to your what you want. No, actually, we're moving to the future. All right, so the future, we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, okay? So that can indicate feeling unloved. It can indicate feeling unappreciated, okay? And this also can be like, it's like you're at a point where you can't fake it anymore. So if you've been in a situation with somebody and you've been unhappy, with this Nine of Pentacles in the future, it's like it's time for you to address that, okay? You're not going to be able to hold it in anymore because you feel like you've made a mistake. Okay, this can represent someone who expects that their partner is going to make them feel complete, and then they're disappointed because that's not the case. All right. For others, this can represent the other woman. All right. So for some of you in the future, you may have a situation where there is another woman in your relationship. Okay. I will go ahead and clarify that. And we got the Star card. Okay. So the Star card can indicate that you may be feeling unloved, I should say, but you may feel like you've poured your emotions out to your partner. Okay, so for them, they may see you as the Star card, right? They see you as someone who's loving, but for them, for you, you don't feel like you've received that love in return. Now, for others, the situation is reversed, okay? For others, maybe it's your partner that is feeling unloved, okay? And you feel like, you guys are fated and destined to be together. And, sorry, someone's knocking. All right, yeah, it just may be a situation with the Star card where it's like it's one or the other, okay? Someone's feeling unloved and someone feels like they're pouring their heart out. Okay? So it's the same person. The person who's pouring their heart out also feels unloved in the situation. Now for others, it looks like, that same you're feeling unloved, feeling underappreciated, whatever, that you made a mistake with an Aquarius. Okay? So for those of you who had the competition going on and Aquarius was one of the choices, it looks like if you choose the Aquarius, then in the future, you may wind up in a situation where you're not feeling the love in this relationship. Okay. And, for me, skipping ahead and looking at the end with this Lovers card, with choosing between two lovers, it could definitely be that situation, that scenario for some of you guys. Okay. Now, I'm so sorry I paused. I keep hearing something, and then every time I stop talking, I don't hear it anymore. And no, it's not my voice. Okay. Now, moving on to what you want, we get the Ace of Pentacles. So you want a new beginning, okay? You want a new beginning, but you want something that is grounded. You want a relationship that is grounded, one that, you've experienced physical satisfaction as well as material satisfaction. You want a whole package, okay? You don't just want emotional satisfaction, and you don't just want physical satisfaction. You want something that's grounded in reality. All right, Capricorn. And who doesn't, right? Now we move on to your internal factor. And it's the Six of Wands in the reverse. So this can indicate that you might be feeling a little bit underappreciated, okay? And, it looks like that doesn't change much in the future. You're feeling a little insecure, maybe even overlooked by your partner, or that you're feeling like maybe this relationship is just purely sexual, okay? Or that's how they view you. All right, maybe that's what you're feeling. And because I can remember the previous readings, because they're so close to each other, Capricorn, your reading for last month was entitled "Where is the Love?" Right? Because in that whole entire reading, it's like I didn't really see a lot of love going on between you and the partner. I saw a karmic connection, and I still see this karma that you've got going on between the two of you, but there's not a lot of emotions, right? So you're feeling that. You're feeling like there's not really an emotional connection between you and this person. It might be very physical, but there's nothing emotional. And maybe that's just what you as a Capricorn, maybe those are the kind of relationships that you build, because here, you don't want the Ace of Cups, you want the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So this doesn't necessarily say anything about emotions. This is, the physical plane, all right? This is chemistry. I am tripping right now. It's like, who's in the house with me? Hello, hello. Um, Chemistry, physical, material, but not necessarily emotional. Right. So now we move on to your advice, and you get the King of Wands. All right. So the King of Wands is telling you that you need to put more energy and passion and focus into your relationships or into your love life. Okay. If it's not what you want right now, if you're feeling unloved, maybe because you need to show love. Okay. You need to give love out and not give it to receive, but we're supposed to give love freely, right? So if you're feeling that you're not, maybe the other person in the situation could possibly be feeling the same way. Okay, because if they are the Queen of Wands, right? If the person that you're dealing with or the person that you want to be with represents the Queen of Wands, they are passionate. They are outgoing. They are expressive. So it's like you need to match that energy. Okay, if that's what you want, if that's the person that you want, you need to find that energy to invest in your relationship. Okay, you need to find that time, because here with this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse in your future, that can also indicate like someone who's, focused so much on their work that their relationships are suffering. All right, because your work-life balance is kind of out of control. All right, now with the King of Wands, it's like, yeah, you want to open up, right? Be more passionate, be more expressive, and, just have generally more love for life. All right. So if you want to infuse some energy into your love life and into into your relationships. Okay. Now we move on to the external factor, and you have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. All right, so for some of you, this indicates that, your partner is having a difficulty letting go of past hurt or getting over something that has happened in the past. And with this Five of Wands in the reverse, if it doesn't represent competition, like I said, this can indicate a lover, excuse me, who's having a difficult time moving on or moving forward from conflict. Okay, and I do remember the previous reading. So something happened in the past, and your lover is still, this is still affecting your relationship. Okay, this is still affecting your connection. For those of you that are single, it just seems like something, well, my whole train of thought is just suffering right now because I keep hearing noises. I'm going to go ahead and clarify. And we get the Four of Wands, okay? So the Four of Wands can indicate that there's a lack of commitment, okay? In the situation, it can indicate that maybe your family and your friends don't necessarily approve of the people you date or approve of your partner, okay? And it's causing conflicts. Or this can indicate that because your lover is having such a hard time getting over it, like your home, your environment, your relationship doesn't feel like home anymore to each other, okay? That love and feeling is like lost between the two of you, okay? This can also indicate that your lover's feelings, okay, their feelings for you are going in the opposite direction of the commitment that maybe you guys had either built together or were discussing or wanted to build or were moving towards, okay? The Four of Wands in reverse represents that, their feelings may be changing, okay? Clarify that again. And we get the Moon in the reverse. So there's something going on in this situation, okay? There's some type of secrets. There's some type of deception. This also indicates that, your lover may have some type of emotional issues, okay? And whether it has to do with something that you did in the past or whether it's something that they have to deal with on their own, this can represent someone whose, emotions are very unbalanced, very out of balance. Okay. When you look into tarot and you see the moon card, some even say mentally unstable. But this is a love reading, so if you are dealing with someone who's mentally unstable, that, okay, Capricorn. So for some of you, that's the case, and your lover, because of that, like basically that past hurt has thrown them completely off. Okay, and they can't get over it. So even though they're not arguing with you anymore, even though there's these conflicts are waning, they're not moving on. They're not ready to move forward with you. Okay, they're not ready to move forward with the commitment. They're not ready to move forward with any type of commitment. And that is your fear. Okay, your hopes or your fears. You have the Ace of Cups. So you fear that there won't be any love in the situation, or you fear that there's going to be a loss of love, or a permanent breakup. Okay, you fear disappointments. You fear emotional outbursts from this person, okay? Especially if they are a little bit emotionally unstable. Okay, you fear that there will be a blockage from healing. All right, so it's a situation where I feel like your intuition is speaking to you, and you already know kind of what to expect, and you're dreading it. You're dreading the end of this situation because with this Lovers in reverse, this can indicate a temporary breakup. This can indicate that the two of you are not getting along, all right, represented by, someone feeling unloved and not being able to fake it anymore, all right? This represents two people that, may be tied together karmically, but you're just not able to be on the same page, okay? For some, this represents that you have to decide between two lovers. So like I said, for some of you, whoever this Fool in reverse, this Aquarius, and whoever this Queen of Wands is, you're going to have to decide between the two of them. Okay? And, I see where if it's, like I said, if it's the Aquarius, it may not be the best choice because that leaves you feeling unloved. Okay, this person doesn't leave you feeling the kind of love that you want. Now, if this is not the Aquarius, then the person that you feel like is your soulmate, or the person that you feel like, you guys are supposed to be together, you're destined to feel together, to be together. Like I said, every soulmate relationship is not a happy one. All right. Because sometimes there's lessons. And like one of the comments I got, and thank you guys, because I love your comments, but one of my commenters said that, this is a time where a lot of karmic lessons have to be learned, right? Everybody's going through a lot of karmic situations. All the readings have had themes of these karmic situations, sometimes multiple people, sometimes with the same person repetitively over and over again. Because until you learn that lesson, you're going to repeat it, right? If you don't pass math, you have to take it over again. You have to go to summer school. So I feel like for you, maybe with this particular person, you might have a lesson, and until you learn it, even though this person feels like your soulmate, if you stay in the situation, you still are going to continue to feel unloved and unappreciated, all right? Because this just may not be the person for you, despite the fact that you feel like you guys are karmically tied together. All right. Learn what it is. Like, basically, you have to learn what it is that you're supposed to learn and move on. And here, what you may need to learn is how to love people the way they need to be loved. Okay? Or how to go after the kind of love that you want. How to get the kind of love that you need so that you can feel, you can be loved the way that you want to be loved. All right? Because just because we say I love you and just because we're in a relationship doesn't make it so. Okay? It's our actions that show. And, if you're not passionate, especially in a relationship with someone who is passionate, that person is not going to feel loved. Okay? It doesn't matter how much of a perfect partner they think you are or you think they are. If fundamentally your love languages are not matching up, someone's going to feel undervalued in the situation. And it looks like you, Capricorn. Because this person is the Queen of Wands. They're, happy-go-lucky. So for some of you, that's the case. For others, it's a Gemini that is your karmic tie, okay? And once again, your challenge is to not get excited that because you guys have cleared up arguments, that there's going to be this new beginning between the two. Because in the future, you guys are still not on the same page. Let me go ahead and clarify this outcome. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So, like I said, this may not necessarily be the person for you. At least that commitment is not coming, or the commitment is, not for the outcome of this December reading. It's still not there. Okay? And, I feel like last month you were feeling like you've had enough, okay? You've had enough of this situation. So, I feel like this is one of those, it's like do or die, right? That's the king of wands. It's do or die time. All right. Do you want to stay in the situation, and are you going to invest the energy that it would take for you and this person to get back on the same page? And what's also coming to me is that I know that there has been, for some of my readers, because I've gotten the comments, a Gemini Capricorn connection throughout my readings for the last few months, okay? I think since I started doing readings in June. So it's not like I've been reading forever, but every month there seems to be some type of connection between a Gemini and a Capricorn. And if you, oh my God, the train of thought just went out of my mind. All right, so you've been going back and forth with this Capricorn, with this Gemini, and I feel like it's the Gemini that didn't want commitment. And at one point, I think it was like both of you that were kind of like ambivalent about the commitment, but definitely the Gemini. And I know in the Gemini reading for November, one of the cards that stood out to me was in the want position. They had the 9 of Swords. I think it was in reverse. But basically, it's like they wanted their partner to pay for something that they did. They wanted their partner to feel the anxiousness and the sleepless nights and the nervousness. So for some of you, I feel like you are dealing with this Gemini, okay, who, whether or not there's another person involved in your life, you have this connection or this tie with this Gemini who is not going to commit to you or isn't ready to commit, and they are not able to get over something that happened in the past. Okay, some type of secret maybe that was revealed, or something else is going to come out between the two of you, who knows? But obviously that commitment issue is still there. Okay, and I think the Gemini in their readings, the commitment issues, commitment phobic type cards were coming up also. All right, so it's like, what is the lesson, right? What is the lesson? We're going around in circles. We feel like this person is our soulmate, but at the end of the day, we're just not happy, or one of us is not happy in the situation. So how can that be? And like I said, sometimes our soulmates are here for us to learn something. So, last month the reading was, where is the love? This month it's like, what is the lesson? What is the lesson, so that you can move on and have this new grounded beginning, either with this person that you feel like you are connected to, or with someone new. Okay, with someone new. And so, whether it's the astrological signs that I said, or, not, but one person represents the Fool, one person represents the Queen of Wands for some of you. All right. Do you want someone who is so independent it gets in the way of them being able to commit? Or do you want someone who is going to be passionate and expressive and open? Okay. Because for some of you, those are your two choices. All right. And here with this Queen of Wands, I feel like, who does the Queen of Wands want? He wants the King of Wands, I should say. The King of Wands wants the Queen of Wands, right? That makes sense. This is a pair, right? Who wants the Fool in reverse? So if you want commitment, then I feel like you know which direction you want to go to. And if you're not ready for commitment, and that's fine, if you're honest with yourself and you're honest with whoever you're dealing with, then you can continue to try to work it out, or you continue to go after somebody who might give you a sexual only type relationship, right? But not necessarily any emotions like you had in the past. That's not here. There's no other cups in this reading. And the only other card that shows any emotions is this damn out of balance moon card. And the Ace of Cups in your fear. That's not even part of the reading, really. That's your internal fear. So, yeah, Capricorn. I mean, it's like baby steps, right? It's like you're getting closer, you're getting closer, you're getting closer. But I feel like the situation's coming to a head because you're really feeling it. You're really feeling unloved. You're feeling unappreciated. Going forward, you're still feeling unappreciated or unloved. And, with the outcome not being on the same page, the commitment not being there, or being in a loveless marriage. All right, because with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, you may get the commitment, but 10 of Pentacles represents, marrying for material wealth. All right, or marrying because of obligations. Okay, so this is two people who are together because of other factors other than the fact that they actually want to be together. All right. So that is your reading, Capricorn. And what I, want to say is that you may have this reading, and parts of this reading may resonate with you, and other parts may not. And because it's a general reading, and there's there's so many other people watching, all of this is not going to be for one person. It might, 100% of this might resonate with some. For some, it might only be this part of the reading, okay? It might only be the advice and the external factors. For some, it may only be the current part, the fact that you might have competition in two people, or that you have to kind of find a way to be more optimistic about your situation without going overboard, right? Or for some of you, it might be just the fact that you're feeling unappreciated with your partner. Okay, so if a part of this reading doesn't resonate with you, I don't want you to feel like it's supposed to. Okay, it doesn't, not all of it is going to. And that's the whole point of it. And it's like, and if you want a reading that is specifically for you, then we can take the next step and you can get a reading on your own. But this reading is going to cover so many people that there may be parts of it that don't touch on you at all. And sometimes people get upset in the comments like, I'm not a cheater. You know, someone else is a cheater. And, you know, then that part of the reading wasn't for you. Okay, or, you know, if your person is cheating on you, but the reading is saying that, you know, Capricorns are the best ever, but your Capricorn's cheating, then, you know, maybe just focus on the portion of the reading that does resonate. And if none of it does, then it just doesn't, you know. And we'll try again next month, or maybe it's another sign that you need to check out. All right, guys, but thank you guys so much for watching. You know, I do appreciate the comments that you guys get, even the ones where you guys are not happy. You know, it gives me the feedback, and it gives me, you know, some insight into the people that are watching my videos, and I do appreciate it. You know, and it's the end of the year. It's the end of the year, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot being revealed, okay? And the holidays are particularly hard time for a lot of people. So I want everybody to kind of keep that in mind, that while we have these commercials and, you know, in our social media, everything is about the holidays, and they make it seem like it's such a happy and joyous time. But for some people, the holidays trigger a lot of emotional pain for them, whether it's from past relationships, whether it's through growing up, whether it's just because they're used to having unhappy holidays. So if you are dealing with somebody, or even if you yourself find yourself feeling a little bit down, a little bit, you know, out of it around the holidays, you know, cut yourself some slack, or maybe even your partner. You know, see what's going on. Like, look at some patterns. You know, maybe you might notice that every December you and your partner have a fight. Then you got to maybe sit down and talk to them and say, hey, you know, find out how do they view holidays? How do they perceive it? Did they have happy holidays in the past, or were holidays always a time of anxiousness and disappointments for them? All right, we can't assume that everybody has the same upbringing, the same memories, the same type of viewpoints that we have on everything. So this is an opportunity that a lot of us have to, you know, really look at the person who we are, okay, also, but, you know, if we're dating someone, or if we're with someone, we're living with someone, we're married to someone, even friends, you know, you want to see, oh man, you know, why is this person kind of like falling apart? Why are they acting strange? Why are they acting so this? It could just be the holidays. This is a very rough season, like I said. All right, guys, but I want you guys to enjoy your holidays. If you celebrate, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, anything that I left out, because I don't know every single holiday there is. But I hope you guys enjoy your December, and I'll see you at the next reading. All right, Capricorn. Bye.